This episode was previously recorded on May 27th. Recent statements by J.K. Rowling do not represent the views of Theme Park Stop or the Theme Park Shark.
How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Theme Park Shark Podcast. Today we are back and doing Shark Stop with, of course, Alicia, Stella. Thank you so much for being here.
Always a pleasure.
Today, guys, we're doing a favorite of ours, as you've probably come to notice, and we are going to go back to Epic Universe. There have been some changes with Epic Universe, and there have been some changes just overall in the overall theme park landscape, so we are going to go right back to Epic Universe. We're going to dive in right now. So, Alicia, what's changed, what's the same, and what are we looking at right now?
It's definitely an interesting time because they are putting a pause on construction just to wait out and see how the economy recovers. They're saying they're putting a pause on construction, but technically they're still digging holes and placing pipes in the ground. But they're going to pause before they start vertical construction, which would have started later this year. So they're thinking, at least from what they told the mayor of Orange County, they're thinking it's going to be about a year delay. So we've been saying 2023 is going to be the opening date for Universal's Epic Universe. Now maybe it's going to be 2024. But Comcast is quick to say they're not canceling it. They really love this park and they really want to build it.
I think anybody that's followed, I guess, the theme park world probably has a little PTSD when they hear about theme park projects potentially being delayed.
Especially on this exact property, because this was supposed to be Universal's next theme park back in 2000.
Yes.
And then they sold off the land and then rebought it. So I'm getting a little bit of deja vu, but they haven't canceled it, and I'm holding out hope because Comcast really loves the park, so they want to build it.
I think we all definitely want this park to go through. The concept art looks absolutely fantastic. This is something that all of us want to happen. Thankfully, hopefully it is just a matter of time, and it's not a matter of will it be canceled or not. One thing that I wanted to focus on with you, because something that's been really shifting a lot, is the Wizarding World area of the park. So what's, I guess, the first broad thing that you can tell me that's maybe shifted or that's completely different than what people have been thinking about that particular world for the last few months?
There's two things here. I made the mistake and didn't realize that the Wizarding World land is actually split into two different locations, not just Paris. And two, with this little break here, they do have this unique opportunity to go back to the drawing board and rethink anything they want to rethink for this park, because it won't start vertical construction right away. Super Nintendo World, I don't see any changes because it's kind of a clone of what they have going on in Japan, and they've already built a lot of the prefabricated materials when they built it for the other parks around the world. Universal Classic Monsters, I've heard that the work is still going on with that, and they haven't changed the plans for that. But when it comes to the Wizarding World, I have heard that they're plussing one of the attractions, and they're working with Warner Brothers, and I assume J.K. Rowling, to maybe rewrite or rechange some of the area. This might be an opportunity where Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them movie series hasn't performed as well as, they had hoped when they drew up the plans for this park. So maybe this is an opportunity to revisit the concept altogether. Don't think they're going to change the structural shape of the actual ride buildings, which leads me to the first point where I didn't realize it, but the British Ministry of Magic has been in the plans all along for this area.
Wow.
That's big, exciting news. Not only is it France for the exteriors and the French ministry on the right side, but on the left side of the land, we have the British Ministry. The way they're probably going to accomplish this is kind of amazing.
Now, what do you have in mind? Because when you do talk about two completely different locations like that, they aren't similar really at all. How do they blend and merge two different, not only movie series and franchise, but two different locations of the world?
In the plans, they're calling it Wizarding World, but it clearly has the French Ministry. There's even a little street in the plans that leads to the French Ministry that has a little courtyard that looks exactly like it did in the second film for Fantastic Beasts. If you remember, in the second film for Fantastic Beasts, there is a scene in the opening of the film that takes place at the British Ministry of Magic.
Of course.
Which ties those two locations together within that film series.
Gotcha.
So it would be a way, or at least in the original plans, it was a way for fans of both series to kind of get a location from each one. Even if it was doing a Fantastic Beasts storyline, at least you get to see the iconic, atrium area of the British Ministry. Now, though, that they're rewriting it, who knows? Who knows what timeline it'll be?
That was literally my next question for you was, do you foresee any possible way that they utilize the British Ministry to bring back Potter characters, or do they just keep this and go full in on Fantastic Beasts?
If I was to venture a guess, I'm like 51% they bring Potter into it, 49% they keep it Fantastic Beasts. I'm that close on the edge, but I just give a little tip to the Potter because I know it brings in the fans, I know it brings in the money. But here's what I do know.
Teleporting and time travel.
Exactly. Here's what I do know is that the Ministry of Magic doesn't have any exteriors whatsoever in the actual outside. But you can go inside and there would be fireplaces, and you would take the fireplace like a flu network directly into the ministry, the British Ministry of Magic. And I don't know if the plan was this flu powder is taking you from Paris to London, or if there was another conveyance or port key or something when you enter the building before you get to the fireplaces. I'm not sure, but I'm going to go with the flu network can take you within different places in Europe. Let's just go with it.
I'm fine with that.
But there would be like a hallway with a long row of fireplaces and some kind of special effect and a fog effect. And they would take in small groups at a time into this, essentially right into the ministry's hallway where all the fireplaces are in the Harry Potter films. So like people coming and going to work and you see them poof in the green smoke right in the fireplace. And this entire long hallway would be recreated. And that's the entry into the ride area. Before you get into the queue, you have to first, enter the ministry. And from there, you go right into the atrium. Now, depending on the time period, not sure what statues would be present here, but this would be the big atrium with the offices and hopefully letters, flying overhead back and forth, a bustling place. And then you could go to the left would be the ride queue entrance for the Ministry of Magic ride. And then people exiting would be coming out on the right. And they would also go right back to that hallway of fireplaces and exit out through the opposite side, which may or may not exit you right into a phone booth. I don't know if it's an opportunity to kind of, as long as it's not the toilet. Yeah. Like these are the only three ways I know to get in and out of the Ministry of Magic. And I know the fireplaces are there, but I want to hope that the exit takes you out a phone booth just so that we can kind of get the best of both worlds here. But I have heard that the ride system and maybe the story for whatever this ride was going to be is what they're changing.
Okay, so before we even dive into that, how many rides, attractions, shows, what let's just, someone that's totally coming into this blind, what's the overall scope of this world so far? And then let's dive into that one further.
Okay, so zooming out, you would have a little city street at the bottom as you enter the main portal, which was originally designed to be like Place Cachet from The Crimes of Grindelwald. And so this is like a Parisian street with a little quick service, maybe a bakery on one side and a little lounge on the other. And then like little shops, the same things you would find in Diagon Alley, but like French versions. And then up ahead, you can turn right and enter the French Ministry attraction, which I don't believe is like a dark ride or like a go somewhere ride, but more of some kind of either interactive show, or I'd rumored that maybe it was this tower pattern because the building is larger than the other building. And then to the left of that is some kind of small theater. The theater is in between the two main rides, and it could be small shows, Potter-related shows, wand battles, not sure. And then to the left of that would be this massive British Ministry of Magic attraction.
Wow.
The biggest ride building in the park.
What are further details about this attraction? Since it is going to be in the house in the biggest show building, what are some of the more intricate details that you're kind of guessing or hearing about, or that's just overall rumored at this point?
I have sort of confirmed that the prior or the original plan for this attraction was to be a trackless ride vehicle dark ride. Not sure exactly what the plot was, or even if it was Potter or Fantastic Beasts related, but I know that you would load from within the Ministry of Magic area, going through a queue and then getting into some kind of trackless ride vehicle. From what I've been told, it was boring.
Oh, wow.
The idea of the ride was grand, but boring. And the new version, and I have no details, I just know that the new version is supposedly going to be like the best ride in the park.
Wow.
Like anchoring the whole park. Like that's how good it is. And that Universal fans, like all-time fans are going to love it. There's this rumor passing around that someone said it's going to dust off an old ride system that they no longer use at the Universal parks anymore. Everyone immediately jumps to the confrontation thing, and they're like, the scissor thing, the tram scissor thing, like they're going to bring it back. I don't know if that's what they're going for, but I have heard that Universal nerds are going to love it, and like it's going to be the best ride in the park, and now I'm excited beyond all reason.
Going into this theme park and knowing that it was going to be the Fantastic Beasts world, to me, it excited me, but it wasn't what I was looking forward to. It wasn't the world that I wanted to go to first or even second at Epic Universe. The fact that we are now at this point, the fact that it could have the anchor attraction, the fact that it could potentially blend not only the Beast series, but potentially pull from Potter as well. This might be the world that I go to first.
Oh, yeah. It was always going to be either this or Monsters, depending on like how I felt that day. Because like as much as I love outdoor attractions and dragons and a coaster and a really good show, I'll deal with that day too at How to Train Your Dragon. As much as I love Nintendo, I would have already seen all the POV videos on YouTube. I am going for something new, something incredibly, technologically advanced. And Potter never lets me down. And whether it's the theming of Diagon Alley or the breakthrough technologies and the new rides, but also like I love to think, because we're at an interesting point where for once I'm not sure what this ride is about, and and I'm not used to that feeling. But
you're stumped, Alicia?
Well, okay, let's just guess. Let's speculate if it was Potter based, and we're not going to bring the kids back, and it's our own adventure through the Potter universe. How about something with Umbridge? How about something with the real villain of the Harry Potter series?
The real villain.
Move over, Voldemort. This is the scary villain. And if it was going to use the scissor control, like from the tram on Confrontation, which we barely got to really utilize that technology to the last scene on Confrontation, but going up and down on that.
Are you saying we're going to have a massive sized Umbridge? Is that where you're going with this?
Thinking, what if it was a Flying Forward Anglia based attraction that started and ended in the Ministry, but could kind of go out into the like nighttime London, fly over like Peter Pan style the Big Ben, but at the same time also have Dementors flying around, like an actual action adventure dark ride using a ride technology that is not just, flying on a bench from a Kuka arm and using screens, but actually suspended from the ceiling and going up and down like the out of control Anglia, but using that scissor lift.
Oh my goodness. And I want to fly right up on a Hogwarts Express too in full motion.
If they use forced perspective, it would be so cool.
Yeah.
Especially if you're inside a car and your perspective is skewed by like the roof and the windshield and you can't see the scissor lift above you. It could work.
Now let's reiterate, because I think a lot of them listen to us and like, oh my God. So this is just having fun, right?
Yes, that is just a speculative guess. The rumor actually is they're redoing the ride system. It's not trackless anymore, and it's something that's a blast from the past. That's all I can confirm at this time. It's probably Potter, though. Come on, let's be honest.
All right, guys, I think that's going to wrap up today's episode. If you guys want to catch more of Alicia Stella, she is the Theme Park Stop on YouTube. She has the Park Stop podcast as well, and she is Alicia Stella on Twitter. If you guys are looking for more from the Theme Park Shark, you can find our podcast on Apple and Spotify. We are at themeparkshark.com, and of course, the Theme Park Shark on YouTube. But all right, guys, that's going to wrap up today's episode of Shark Stop. As always, I appreciate you guys being here and for listening and or watching. Take care, have a great day, and we'll see you guys in the next one.